Welcome to Tea for Lunch, a weekly show powered by Arcade Studios.
Each week, we'll serve you the top stories we're following in social media, entertainment, celebrity, and tech in 15 minutes or less. You can catch the show live on Instagram or on TikTok on Thursdays at 12 p.m. Mountain Time or on all podcast providers and YouTube on Fridays. We're your hosts this week, Morgan.
And Mikenna.
Yay, welcome, Mikenna.
Hello. I feel like we just hosted a couple weeks ago, but I'm happy
We
to be
actually
back.
did. I was actually happy we got paired up again. I'm in a little bit as a bench warmer this week because we are super busy in the office.
It is podcast city over here.
It is. We're recording right now for our new season of Waves, which is Arcade's marketing podcast. So if you're looking for something a little more long form and that gets into more detail with different marketing trends and what's happening in the industry, hop over to that. It's on all podcast providers as well. And here, if you're on YouTube, it's here on our YouTube channel. But right now we're recording season 6 and it has just been... It's been wild.
I'm so excited. I don't want to give away too much, but I know some of the hosts this year, or like the guests, and I am just like, I'm itching to hear it.
It also feels in a way like we're almost a little old school with like the topics this time because they've looped back around. Like we're talking about YouTube this season, which is something that was so popular like 6 years ago was when it really popped off, I feel like, and now it's having a resurgence, so that's really cool. We're also talking a little bit about email, which is shamelessly very exciting for me. And yeah, it's just gonna be a good season, but I don't know, it's been a lot this week.
It's also a short week, and I think that adds to the energy of the shift. So 4-day week for us, and there's that first Tuesday back is always chaotic, but I don't know about you this weekend.
I don't know what day it is any day this week. I've just been like, oh, we're doing this? Sure. Sounds good.
It's like every morning you wake up, you're like, what day is it? Let's
100%.
go.
100%. I almost missed some of my it's the wrong day, but we're back, we're here, we're live.
We showed up.
And we've got a couple of stories today. We've got our first one, which is a little bit of like a shameless plug because we just wanted something fun to chat about at the beginning, and that's going to be Selling Sunset.
Yay!
So the new season has just kicked up. If you're anywhere online, you're probably seeing all kinds of content about it. Marketing angle is for this, and the best thing I can really think of is that this is a really good opportunity right now for brands to make some content around this if this is a fit for your brand. There's all kinds of memes coming out, like Chelsea's wild outfits, Jason and Chriselle in their villain eras. Everybody's talking about it. But there's also a few things people are sharing about the show that we thought were interesting. One, this is their 6th season, 5th or 6th. And people are saying that like they're gonna need to do some things to really get this to peak reality TV level. Mm-hmm. And one of those is getting people to all play ball with their characters.
Yeah, for sure. It's interesting to like be on reality TV but only want to show part of your life. It feels a little
100%
not reality.
Yeah, there's this like weird mix, and we've talked about this a little bit on the show before, of just how much reality we actually want as viewers. And while there's like a certain amount of villain we don't want and that kind of like gets us all going, you kind of need people to hype things up and like ham it up for the camera, or else it's just gonna fizzle out.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think they have a little bit of like catching up to do without having Christine on the show, which like I'm okay with her not being on the show, but we definitely lost like
she was carrying the show.
That spark, she carried it. So
yeah, and I think like we were all ready to move on from that plot line to something different, but the new characters, I'm like, it's great if you want me to like you or you want to kind of show good face on the show, but we also need drama, or else it doesn't keep going.
For sure.
Yeah, so that's something that we need. I also had a prediction for this season. Ooh. And I won't share any spoilers, but my prediction when the season started was that Jason was going to become a villain because he was annoyed at his business not doing well because of everybody fighting all the time.
Fair prediction. Again, we don't want to give away any spoilers, so you'll have to watch out.
You'll have to check for yourself. But we also just had some thoughts on like the way it's being shared online, and again to kind of go into that topic about how much reality we want. People are outing all of the agents online.
There's a lot going on. I've seen multiple TikToks, especially of other Los Angeles realtors, like spilling the absolute most tea on what these the agents on Selling Sunset, how many houses they're actually selling. And like, here's a spoiler, it's not that many. Most of them have sold like one house in the last year, with the exception of one of the brothers, and I can't remember which one, because Jason he sold like 20 plus houses in the last year. So like, he's legit. But the girlies on that show, they're like pushing like one house a year, which, I mean, for a $44 million house, the commission's pretty good. Like, that'll get you through. But
yeah,
one house.
Davina and her 75 mil, that's great. Take a couple of years off after that. But when you're having to split commissions already, I don't know. But as marketers, we did have a couple tips for the show for them to continue. One is we need to get some better brand collaborations on the show.
Yeah, and I think the first opportunity here is if you're a clothing brand, especially like since they dress more like upscale, designer, if you're a designer clothing brand, like slide into those girls' DMs, because they need some styling assistance. There's no shortage of TikTok content about what was worn this season, but like, let's bring it down a notch and like class it up a little.
I think that's the thing, like the fashion's really fun, but it's not getting the right kind of attention right now. It's kind of leading them into being not seen quite as seriously, I think. So even Chelsea went on and made a TikTok saying she doesn't have a stylist. So I think I'd love to see more brands like getting involved with the individual agents, seeing like certain agents like working with certain brands. I think we saw Christine do that a lot, and it kind of pivoted into her doing some modeling and stuff offline. So that would be a good one. And then the other opportunity we're seeing is, where are the social media managers?
These people need social media managers. And if I just, that's it. That's my, that's the point.
Statement. And just PR teams too. Like, we're seeing so much content from everyone everywhere, but it's a lot of content that's just like back and forth fighting, and it's not really furthering their careers online. It might be keeping them sort of relevant in this drama, but I'd like to see the agents evolving into their kind of influencer roles, that they're getting online. They all have huge followings, and I'm seeing some people make like some cool TikToks, but a lot of it's still kind of dated, not quite current, doesn't feel super relatable yet, and I can't relate to their lifestyle, but I want to relate to their content.
Yes. Okay, mic drop.
That's the need for
Moving
that.
on.
All right. We could talk about this one all day, but let's move on to some social media news.
Okay, some social media news. TikTok is challenging Montana's decision to ban the app. TikTok has launched an official legal challenge against the state of Montana's decision to ban the app within the state. After Montana's governor signed legislation to ban the app from operating in the state outright, TikTok vowed to fight for its users in that region. The app tweeted out, "We are challenging Montana's unconstitutional TikTok ban to protect our business and the hundreds of thousands of TikTok users in Montana. We believe our legal challenge will prevail based on an exceedingly strong set of precedents and facts." TikTok says that Montana's ruling violates the First Amendment, and it will be seeking to halt the bill from becoming law before its January 2024 implementation date. We've talked about this a lot. Thoughts?
It's a tricky one because, of course, there's a lot of like legalities to it. My hope is that for creators in the state, if this does go through, I hope they're able to start like pivoting their audiences in advance, knowing that they'd potentially have till January 2024. It might just be smart to do anyway, but it's so hard to say if this is going to go through.
It's not something we've seen happen before in this way, and I don't understand maybe the technology behind banning it in one state, but like everyone uses a VPN, so I don't know, that's my thought.
Yeah, there'd definitely be ways around it, but I think what we keep sharing on the show is it's just a reminder that any opportunity to get an own channel of your audience is great. The last thing anybody wants is to lose their business over something like this, but it can happen with any app. Like, an app can just lose popularity. It could, I guess, bans can happen, different things. So it's tricky, but we're going to keep following it. We'll keep updating.
Only time will tell.
Yeah. Okay. Next one. This is a new app, so kind of ties to what we were just saying with apps changing. But it's a new app for fans of written content. So anybody who kind of has hopped off Twitter and hasn't really been sure where to go, you might like this one. So Instagram's new app has been revealed as Meta gears up to release it this summer. It's a direct challenger for Twitter, a text-based app that will allow you to share posts using your IG credentials. I kind of love that you don't have to create like a whole new profile. One of the people who got to test it out is UCLA professor Leah Haberman. She shared some screenshots of the app and showed that it basically has a Twitter-like design. And it's currently operating under the codename Barcelona. I know we've seen this like hinted at online before, so it's interesting that that's actually, it's real, it's coming out. And it could be available as soon as the end of June. I haven't gotten details on exactly what country, but I'm assuming that's US. But it would be cool if we'd get it in Canada too.
I think it'd be great. I think this app would fill a need. I think, like you said, a lot of people have pulled off of Twitter and are, I mean, me in particular, I wish I had a place for that written content, and I don't currently feel like I have that.
Yeah.
And this would be an interesting need to fill the gap. But will it just be the same as Twitter?
I know, that's where I was wondering. So I actually a little while ago had an option on my Instagram feed when I went to like create the post types. I had an option to create a text post for a little while. And I posted something and I was like, did anyone else get this? And nobody saw my post and it didn't like get any likes. Not saying that I get a lot of like engagement anyway, but I was like, oh, maybe I just have this weird beta feature. But I liked the idea of being able to mix in some text with my feed because right now I just screenshot my notes app, or I used to screenshot Twitter and like toss that over. So I think even if it's not all that different from Twitter itself, to me it's the integration that's really the potential here. Like imagine just being able to just share your written Barcelona, I don't know if they're going to be called, to your stories without having to like screenshot or like anything like that.
Yeah, I think it'll be really cool. I think the opportunity here is Instagram needs to make sure that it's like filling needs of what people have been asking for from Twitter but not getting in order to be different and valuable to users. For me, that's like customizing your text formatting and even like font, like a bold or italic moment. I love some emphasis.
I can do that. I can't do the custom font.
I mean, like, no one wants to read a feed of like Comic Sans posts,
Maybe.
but like, I'd play around.
Yeah, definitely. And character limit, something we're interested in. Instagram also has notes. Like, is this going to be instead of notes? Is anybody using notes? Once in a while I see one pop up. But ultimately, I think it just needs to be like really easy to integrate. It needs to be cute enough that you'd actually want to like share this onto your grid. And it needs to eventually, I think, fold into Instagram because I just don't know. I don't know. I'm tired of all the apps.
Yeah, we just need like one app.
And what would you want the feed to look like? Like, would you want to have a separate feed, say they do fold in, like a text feed and a video or a photo feed?
No, I personally would be like, just mix it up because I like that variety of content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And would you want it to be like algorithm or more like chronological?
I mean, I'll always miss the chronological feed, but I think the algorithm's grown on me a little bit. I like when it feeds me things that it knows I want to see.
It's fair. Yeah, for me it's mostly shopping, so it's okay.
And on that note,
yeah, I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be interesting. But those are our stories for today.
Now that we've got your palette, go eat something more substantial.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Cheers, Mikenna.
Oh God, don't spill.